Welcome back, and joining us to unpack the factors driving markets action today is Odwa Magwentshu from Trive Investments. Thank you so much for your time, Odwa. Quite interesting moves that we are seeing there in the markets. Quite a mixed picture. The JSE in the red, European markets making a rebound, and then a mixed picture in the US market, seeming that markets are really just struggling for direction at this point. Does all sentiment and all investor moves at this point in time hinge on what comes out of the Fed tomorrow?
I do highly anticipate that, for the first time in about a few months, whether or not the Fed is going to raise or keep rates as they are is coming into question, especially after the previous CPI print that came out of the United States, showing that they're struggling even harder now to get to that mark of 2%. So, I mean, as you said, US currently around about, I think, flat last time I checked.
Yeah.
UK, they're running that side. Locally, we have our own issues in the red this side.
Yeah, and indeed looking at the issues, because you are seeing the resource 10 complex carrying the bulk of the losses that we are seeing on the JSE. And we actually have seen some interesting moves over the last 2 days there. Quite a divergence between the performance of the PGM stocks and the coal and iron ore one. So coal and iron ore really flying, while there is pressure that remains on the PGM stocks. Is this a case of maybe the coal and iron ore stocks have found a bottom and PGMs not likely so?
I think, yeah, especially with regards to the PGMs, I mean, they have a lot of troubles that side. They had a very good week last week, on the back of great Chinese and German numbers coming out. However, the fall continues, as it doesn't seem like things are currently going as properly. We also saw Evergrande in China right now, being fined a substantial fee. When it comes to, I think a lot of the PGM story still relies heavily on what's happening in China. Iron ore, on the other hand, and coal, I mean, as you say, they've been having a very good day. Today as well, Kumba Iron Ore and Thungela top of the list in terms of gainers today. It's very interesting to see, but when it comes to PGMs, it seems like they can't just get a break. The bottom's not, you're not seeing it at the moment.
Yeah, and always on investors' minds, because investors wonder, do I catch this falling knife? Or do I just stay away from it until there is a clear bottom on that front? Well, let's take a look at some of the company news that came out of the JSE. So today we did have Remgro releasing its interim results. The investment holding company posting a reduction in its intrinsic net asset value per share, also in its headline earnings per share. They did mention the impact of corporate earnings that they have embarked on recently, but also seeming that they couldn't escape the macroeconomic challenges. We did see the share price being under pressure by about 4%. Valid reaction from the market?
I believe so. I think, especially for the short term, especially those corporate actions that they did weigh heavily on them with the Heineken deal, with the Mediclinic acquisition. Those, I mean, were quite capital intensive as well, and also with this high interest environment, didn't help them in those acquisitions that they made. So that's the main reason. I think the business is looking to manage itself better in the long term. There could be, I mean, these are great companies, Heineken and Mediclinic, just to name a few, are very great companies to have in the long term. I do see potential in the future, but as for these specific results, the markets are reacting properly.
So would you say maybe just, what they produced right now is just maybe a case of once-offs because of also those corporate actions where the prospects actually do still look good overall?
That's correct. Yes, that's exactly how I'm feeling about it. I mean, it's just that right now they bought too much, and unfortunately, it hurts the results.
All right. Well, something else that hurt, Discovery yesterday. They posted a trading update. And we did see that share price being punished by about 7%. It was quite interesting to see today that it did rebound by about 4%. And I'm wondering what markets weren't buying yesterday that they're buying today.
If you look at the statement they gave out, it was very good across the board. They were showing a strong growth. They generated capital. So I think in terms of the results alone, they were very good, and that's what you're seeing in today's price action. However, yesterday, what had happened is a continuation of what happened to Old Mutual, where on social media there was just a large number of people also voicing their discomfort with the business, and that could have scared a few investors. Looking at a repeat of what happened with All Mutual. I think that's basically it. However, though it doesn't. If you look at the results, I mean the trading statement they released, it doesn't compete to what the share price did.
All right. So a case of a high tide lifts all boats and a low tide sinks all boats. Let's get to your stock pick for today. Odwa, what will it be?
My stock pick today is Sun International. Sun International just released some great results very recently, this week, I believe, showing record numbers from Sunbet. We're also seeing, a 3.6 billion in free cash. So, I mean, I think that it's a very strong business, and they're showing major growth across board, especially with the online betting system. So, for my pick, it is Sun International.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your insights today, Odwa, on what has moved investors' money. That was Odwa Magwentshu from Trive Investments.